So I'm here with Cat Ainsworth. So Cat, tell me a little bit about your organisation and what brought you to SEWF this year.
So we are the DOT Project. We empower people through the use of technology. So essentially we work with organisations to help them increase their impact by using technology responsibly. We've been going for 2 years, so it felt like the best time to come here. It's great that it's in Scotland. I actually started out the DOT Project when I was based in the Highlands.
Ah, nice.
And Annie, my business partner and co-founder, has just come back from New Zealand. So there's a lot of interest obviously over there in social enterprise with the forum being there last year.
Wonderful. And for a lot of people watching at home, they're kind of maybe just getting started in social enterprise. What was the big why for you as to why you started the DOT Project?
It's a really good question. I think first and foremost it was meeting somebody in Annie that really shared the same values that I did, which was about doing good and doing it better. Having worked in the charity sector for about 8 years, I felt that there was something different that could be brought to essentially the end user. So people in need, I don't think always get the most out of charitable support, and social enterprise really felt like a mechanism to bring the most impact and the greatest impact to those that need help the most. So that's kind of what brought about the idea of the DOT Project, and I absolutely couldn't do it without my co-founder. So I think the confidence in meeting somebody else that thought it was a good idea and we came up with the kind of concept together was really powerful in us starting out.
And one of the things I noticed about the DOT Project, which I really love, is that it's female founded. Was that like a conscious choice on your part?
It's a really good question, because at the beginning I think we were both quite resistant to that label, as it were. But actually we are a business that's built on empathy and characteristics which tend to be seen as quite female. So we've tried to be really collaborative. We are really collaborative, and we've really created a network with empathy at its core. And so actually being women-led is something that we're really proud of. And I think instead of holding back and saying, and basically not telling people that's what we do, it's something that we really want to champion. And I think both of us had gone through situations where we'd often been the only woman in the room, and we'd had quite negative situations happen to us in our past, which meant that actually creating strength and female empowerment was really important to us, and that's really part of our journey.
Wonderful. And one of the things about technology is that it has this wonderfully crazy dichotomy in that it can connect us, but it can also lead to disconnection. And a lot of the social issues that we address are down to this issue of disconnection. So how do you deal with that crazy dichotomy and mental health and that challenge?
Yeah, it's a big challenge, and I think it's something that has to be tackled collectively. It can't be down to one organisation or one individual to try and find the answer. But what we always say is that actually technology is an enabler, it's never an end solution. So we start all of our conversations about technology by talking about people and what people need. And what happens then is that we understand that actually technology can only ever be part of the jigsaw. Often organisations and people that we work with are trying to do a multitude of things, and only part of that is to do with tech. And the most successful interventions that we see are those that use tech to support the end kind of product, but actually put people really at the core of all the decision making. And I think that's where you get something that's really empowering and really exciting.
Wonderful. And I guess for you, it's the second day of the forum so far. What's been your big magic moment or aha moment at the conference?
Well, I cried twice yesterday, which never normally happens. I'm not really a crier. The first was...
I'm a crier.
Yeah. Well, you'd been in tears yesterday watching the Social Shift documentary.
Yes.
Really beautiful, especially was quite touched by the story of the twins. There's two girls that are part of a team that go across Canada finding different social enterprises. And their story is just quite inspiring, and my best friend lives out in Canada, so just seeing the scenery was quite nostalgic. And then I think the second thing was the school children who were on stage talking about what they're up to. That kind of really made me feel hopeful about the future, and I suppose it's been a period of time this year where the future hasn't always looked so bright, but actually seeing people who are really invested and passionate is really exciting. So
yes,
they've been my highlights.
And anything you'd love to kind of say to people at home to really inspire them to dig deeper into social enterprise?
Yeah, I think what I've really taken away is the importance about being honest and being true to yourself. I think the people that I've really resonated with here and the speakers that have really touched me are the ones that say it's not always that easy, but it's really important to follow your passions. So reach out when you're struggling and create a network around you that supports you, because you can get there, it just might not happen the way you think it will, but it's such a difference. I can speak personally from working on something I'm so passionate about now. Getting up in the morning is so different to when you work for something that doesn't truly connect with you, so it's worth it in the end.
Definitely, and we actually had a question come in from Australia from a lady, Chantel Baxter, and she's a social entrepreneur in Melbourne, and her question was actually kind of around that, on how do you as a social entrepreneur find that balance between getting out there and changing the world and actually looking after yourself, or do you even manage to find that balance?
Yeah, I think it's really hard. I've actually experienced that in the last 6 months. It's something that I'm always conscious of, and in the last 6 months my husband, who's in the army, has been away for 6 months, and it's him really that I've realised keeps me looking after myself. He stops me from overworking, he tells me to just relax, and actually having to do that myself for the last 6 months has been a real learning curve. But I was told recently, actually did some coaching, which I 100% think is amazing, going through some personal coaching, and what we were talking about is that actually bringing your best self into the room is so powerful, and so you'll get further faster if you can actually just always stay true to who you are and feel healthy. And I think for me, I've realised that owning a dog is like really important for me, because
a little woofer makes everyone happier.
Yeah, and he's hilarious, so he's always happy, he's always excited, and it makes you excited as well.
Yeah, nice. Well, I don't have a dog, but I occasionally meow like a cat, so you know, that keeps me insane. Keeps me sane or insane, one or the other.
Both are good.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on SEWF, and I am so excited to hear about how you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. It's great to meet you.
Thank you.